It's always fun when it's Amber. She always brings so much to the table. And Amber and Lindsay and I were just talking this morning that you're doing more Zoom, not Zooms, lives on Facebook. And so I've kind of been stalking you a little bit more, and I'm pretty excited to kind of see, like you're just doing more. Are you doing like one a day, or are you doing two a day?
I'm mainly doing one a day. There's some days that I'm not. I'm kind of spacing it out. What I decided to do was, for my team, I'm having a sign up genius, and I put in the days that I can. And then I send it out to my team, and they go. So at first I send it out to just newer promoters because I want to hear their stories. And then I'm now expanding it team wide, and for them to go and pick the day and time that they can from the sign up genius. And that works really well. And so then I have it on my page, and they can watch party it at the same time, or they can go back and watch party it later. So actually I want to talk about that today.
Okay.
So just even if you're not doing it that way, but if you are, guys, here's the thing, live videos, you sharing your story, you interviewing somebody else, I really think it works really well when it's at least two people, because then, like let's say I'm interviewing Susan, obviously I'm going to introduce what Thrive is, how it works. Y'all are right here on my desk. I always have my 3 steps ready to go to tell them. And we talk about that. And I tell my mini story. And then I say, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Susan's on today. Susan, go ahead and just share with us, where are you from? How did you hear about Thrive? How did you get started? Tell us that journey. And then what is Thrive doing for you? And so that is the interview process right there. That's it. And then we talk about getting it for free. We talk about the VIP. Hey, it's Christmas cash. Christmas is just around the corner. Let's make the goal this year to be not to put Christmas on a credit card. You can actually earn up to $660 in your on $800 in orders in your first 2 weeks. Oh, bonus, you can actually double that. So if that sounds good to you, get back to us. Like, it's a simple close. It just kind of puts that thought out there. But what I want to talk about today is interviewing people. So you can use, I think Facebook now back again allows you to interview people in lives. I had some people say there were still some issues. So a lot of people are using StreamYard. StreamYard is great because you can mute yourself so there's not that weird echo and other things that Facebook sometimes has. You can use StreamYard. It's pretty simple to set up. I believe it's free. You can pay for some other options, but I do believe there's a free version of StreamYard, and you go in, get that set up. All you do is create a link. You create a time, plan when you want to go live. You send your other person the link. Okay, super simple. Y'all can figure out StreamYard. All right, but here's what we want to talk about. When you're hosting these lives, or when you're interviewed on a live or a phone call even, or Lavelle live phone calls, any of these things, here's what you need to do. You need to be promoting them. You need to be maximizing the fact that you're using your time on this live, okay? And I think a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it as well, we forget to do that part of it. Yes, sure, thanks for interviewing me. I'd love to be on your live. And then we click the link, we go live, we do our thing, and done, right? You need to be reaching out to people, letting them know, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Let's say Susan wants to interview me, right? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. My friend Susan, she's a top leader in the company. She wants to interview me. We're going live on Facebook. Oh my gosh, so crazy. Would you do me a favor and jump on and support me? Like, super simple. Would you do me a favor, jump on and support me? I'd love your support. I'm a little nervous, whatever the scenario is, or, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, because I always like, were y'all ever, like, when I used to have to speak at church, it was always great to know that one person knew that I was nervous, and that one person, I would always look at them, they were my person, right? Like that eye contact of, I got you, girl. It's good. Keep talking. Like you just knew that looking at them without them even having to say a word. So it's like, if you know somebody is on the other end that's supporting you, you got this, you're good, right? But that also is, hey, that's how you're inviting people. You have to reach out. You have to let them know. You can't just post it out there. What is Maria's analogy of a barbecue? Like you post your barbecue out on Facebook, or you make an event page, and a few people see it and they want to come to your barbecue. But unless they're really getting a personal invite, they don't necessarily see it. Everybody wants to be personally invited. So for you to personally invite somebody to listen to you, to hear you, or, hey, oh my gosh, I'm interviewing my friend Susan. This girl, she was a single mom when she started, and she is kick ass. Like, you need to hear me interview her today. Like that, you know what I mean? You can flip the script even if you're the interviewer. You have to go invite. And then here's the follow-up before the live even happens. Oh my gosh, it starts in 5 minutes. Can't wait. Oh my gosh, it starts in 10 minutes. Can't wait. Like sending those reminder messages. And then that way, when they get the notification that you're live, they also got a message from you. You know what I mean? So it's just continuing. And I love Susan's nodding. She's that, I got you, girl. Like we're just good together. Okay. So that is the follow-up leading up to the live, right? And then you're interviewing, you're talking, you're sharing your story, whatever. Make sure you're asking questions. You can ask questions like okay, for all of you that are thrivers on here, what did you notice first? Then another question, what day did you start to notice something? You want to talk to your audience, because then people are going to comment on there. When you have thrivers on, they're going to comment on there for you. And they're basically, your non-thrivers are reading, oh, wow, she didn't notice something until day 10. You know, I got that 3-day trial pack from Amber. Maybe I should try again. You know, like those things, those are good things to put in there. And then for those that are non-thrivers, you ask questions like, oh, wow, Susan, you had headaches? Like, you noticed that you didn't have headaches? Like, who on here has headaches? Like, could this help you with your headaches? How much stock do you have in Dr. Pepper? You know, like things like that. You're going to ask interactive questions. Susan used to drink a lot of Dr. Pepper. You're going to ask interactive questions when your person tells their story, right? All right. So you've done your live. You're done, right? That's it. You're done. No, you want to reach back out to everybody that you invited. Oh my gosh, it was such a great live. What was your favorite part? You don't ask, did you see it? Did you get to jump on? You say, what was your favorite part? Because then they're like, oh crap, I didn't watch it. So now they're going back and they're going to watch it because they want to come back and they want to tell you what their favorite part is, because they don't want to disappoint you. Okay. That's it right there. So all that follow-up. So basically my main talk today is about follow-up, but I wanted to talk about specifically when you're hosting calls, when you're hosting lives, how to follow up prior and how to follow up after. And then someone be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to jump on. I'm so sorry. No problem. Guess what? It's saved on my wall. You can go back and watch it. Maybe you're doing a giveaway. You know, maybe you're giving away a mini. Maybe you're giving away a $10 gift card. I don't know. But if you are, let them know. Say, oh my gosh, there's something in there that I'm giving away. You got to watch it to be entered in the win. You know, however you're doing it, whatever you're adding in. So moving on, talking about follow-ups. And I know that everybody talks about follow-ups all the time, but that's our business. That's the nature of this beast. If you're not following up, you're out of sight, out of mind. They're forgetting about you. And I will talk on a couple of comments that I hear. And guys, these are things that honestly, they make, you know, that sound like nails on a chalkboard. You know how it makes you like cringe and all of that. There are a couple of things that I hear people say that give me that same feeling. When somebody says, oh, I just follow up a couple times, because at that point the ball is in their court and they know that I'm thriving. They know that they need to reach back out to me when it's their time. Guys, if Maria had stopped following up with me after a couple of times, I wouldn't be here. How many of you wouldn't be here if I weren't here? Like, let's think about that. It's more, Susan, how many, well, you said yes the first day, I think, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes, because I tell everybody she bullied me. And it's really funny though, because anytime Maria had ever started a business, I always bought something from her or hosted a party. So though I was going to ignore her phone call, I didn't. I picked it back up that night. So yeah.
Okay. So Susan is, for Maria, Susan was that circle, right? Who's your circle of people when you very first start to promote? Who is your circle of people that you know that they trust you, you value their opinion? Who would you call if you needed bailed out of jail? Who would you call if you ran out of gas at midnight on the side of the road? Susan was that to Maria, right? Like they've been friends for a long time. I was just an acquaintance. I'd met Maria twice. Like we were just Facebook friends. So we'd have that same thing going on there, but she kept reaching out. She kept following up, basically growing the relationship, y'all. Like, yes, she would ask about Thrive. And then sometimes she would just be like, hey girl, I saw your tired post. How are you? You know, like I'm like, oh my gosh, the boys are racing. I understand. What kind of racing? Like she would just talk. And so she was continuing to follow up with me. She followed up with me for 3 months. We figured out it was 12 something messages because some were in Facebook and some were in text. She was, using both platforms basically. And so we think it was 12 or more messages. And I always say, thank you so much for that 12th message. Like, guys, you never know what message it's going to be for them. You just never know when their moment is. Like that last day of January of 2014, that was my moment. Like I was so done being done. I was crying as I placed my order. Like you just never know. And so on that follow-up, keep reaching out, keep following up. It's kind of funny, like talking to a realtor or a salesperson. Like Jason, my husband, at one point had a sales job for a pool cover company out of New York, and he had a 5-state territory. And he traveled. He was totally a traveling salesman. My kids were little. It was horrible. But he, and he learned from his bosses, his managers, the salesman above him, whatever. On Mondays, they made all their calls, all their follow-ups, right? They were following up with people in their territory because his job was not only did you already have people, so we already have customers, right? We already have customers, we already have promoters, but their job was also all these other pool businesses go get their business. Like if there's a pool company, you need to make sure they're selling our cover. And so he was constantly working that network. He would go and, sometimes he would just pop in like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm not ready to sell your pool covers, whatever. And he'd be like, that's fine. How's it going? What'd you do over the weekend? Like, he would just have a conversation. And then eventually, man, that last cover I put in from that other company, it wasn't so great. I want to hear about your covers now. So that's what can happen here. They may be doing something else. They may, I just bought $200 in vitamins from Walmart, so I can't get your Thrive yet. Okay. How many pills are in those bottles? 30 days worth? All right. I'll talk to you in 28. You're making mental notes of things that they tell you and you're following back up. Maybe you follow up in 25 days. Hey, I was thinking about you. Don't go refill those vitamins at Walmart, girl. Let's talk. You need to be making these notes. I made a post the other day about, I don't know if you follow me, if you saw it. I asked the question, what about these two phrases do you think? Are they the same? Are they different? And phrase 1 was get rich quick. And phrase 2 was become successful quickly. There is a difference. And unfortunately, we have a stigma in the industry, 50 years ago, a stigma that we're all trying to break, that people think that you order a pack, you come on board, and tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire. And that is not the case. Like, you, just like with everything else, you don't walk into college and in a week you're a doctor. Like, that's not how it works. Heck, you don't graduate medical school and instantly make $300,000. Like, even as a doctor, right? Like, you've put in, how many years did they put in? Like 8 years of school, and then I know I have some
like a
doctors
total of 12 years. It's 8 years of school and then 4 years of working for probably
yeah. And
resident.
I don't see any doctors quitting after 12 years because, you know, they didn't make $1 first day in their practice or whatever, right? So that's the thing, is you have to remember everything takes time and everything takes work. Another thing, that one of those things that gives me that nails on the chalkboard feeling, is when people post once or twice, they ask 2 people, and then they say, yeah, I tried, nobody wants it, doesn't work for me. Y'all, like, again, with the follow-up, we've got to do this. But here's what I want on the positive side of that, because I know some of y'all are nodding your heads like, yeah, those people kill me. On the positive side of that, you have people in your network, in your organization, that are willing to reach out to 200 people, that are willing to get the no's. Those are the people you partner with. Those are the people you run with, not the ones that are driving you crazy. Like, those are the ones that you let them, some of them are going to come back in 4 years and be like, man, I'm really ready to work this business now. All right, awesome, cool. Like, some of them they're not going to listen to you. It doesn't matter. They're like your children, right? They're not going to listen. It's not happening today, but when they turn 25, apparently then they hear you, right? So I'm still hoping for those moments with my children. But that's what I'm saying, is you run with the ones that are listening and are ready. And I think sometimes we forget, because those people are so proactive, rock star, running on their own. We're like, they don't need us. But you still got to check in on them, right? Everybody still likes to hear, I see you, atta girl, atta boy, like, way to go. You know, like, everybody loves to hear those things. My love language is affirmations. Like, 75,000 times love language is affirmations. My husband is not. He's getting better. But for him, so when somebody gives me a compliment, I'm like, oh, thank you so much. When somebody gives him a compliment, it actually makes him feel uncomfortable. Like, he doesn't know how to take a compliment. Affirmations is not his thing. He's like, I don't need the spotlight. I don't need, so everybody is different. But I promise you, when somebody hears I see you, or you take that extra second, they're going to appreciate it. And it's going to make them actually run even harder and faster than they already are. And that's when you're like, oh, dang, like, I just gave her jet fuel. And all I said was, hey, I see you, reach it out. I saw that free account, whatever. Right. Susan, I'm going to take a breath. Tell me, you want questions? Do we have questions?
Well, I've been reading the chat. What verbiage can I send to customers and promoters asking them to interview?
Hey, girl, I want to interview you. You want to share your Thrive experience? What day and time works for you?
Yeah. And I always say, I want to interview you. Let me know if you can. Don't do that. I always say, what day this week works for you? And then I usually give 2 choices. I learned that from my Mary Kay days. If I say, is Tuesday or Thursday better for you? They make a choice. Okay, is morning or afternoon ready for you? Okay, then they make a choice. Okay, is 2 or 4 o'clock better for you? Like, you keep narrowing it down. So
I just literally had a flashback to making appointments, my hairdresser days. Like, that's what they taught. They're like, don't, because you'll sit there forever, right? So it's, you put the ball in your court, and then it's morning or afternoon. Okay, 11 or 12, like, you just keep narrowing it down. All right. Yeah. So don't overthink it, guys. I think we are our own worst enemy when we get in our head. I was listening to Eric Thomas the other day and listening to some of his YouTube, which he's on fire. He said, he's like, here he's like up and coming. He's closing in on numbers and sales and whatever on Tony Robbins and all this stuff. He said, the devil still tries to get in my head every single day. He said, still tries to slow me down every single day. And he talked about it, and I'm like, I'm so big on, you've got to take those thoughts captive. But he said, he's like, he's like, I've got to get up at 3:30 in the morning or 4:30 in the morning. He's like, I do that every day because I know that's how I've got to get a head start on my day. He said, but sometimes that voice, nah, Eric, you can sleep in today. Nah, Eric, you're tired. Come on, just sleep in. He said, but then it's like, I'm talking to my body and my body's like, you're not tired, you're up. Yeah, but I'm tired. No, you're not. You woke up without your alarm. You're not tired. Get up. like argue with yourself basically, and don't let the doubt, the thoughts, the seeds of the enemy or whatever, your own enemy, get in the way. And, not, well, you could do that tomorrow. You could do that interview tomorrow. No, you can't do it today. Like, just, no, I'm going to knock this out today. No, we're on it. And I think that's the thing. But it's like when she said, how do you ask them? Girl, you just ask. It's just like when, Billy Holderby said a few years back on stage, don't worry about what message you're sending. Just send a message. Like, just send the message. Just, hey, how's it going? Hey, how are you? I saw your family just got back from Peru, which obviously nobody's in Peru right now because we can't go that far. But, hey, I just saw your family was wherever. How did you like it? Hey, I saw y'all went skiing last Christmas. We're looking at skiing this year. What did you think of this place? Whatever. Like, just send a message. Like, I don't know, were their kids just wrapping up baseball? Like, I think it's crazy weird. I see all these friends in my feed that have these ginormous Super Bowl rings for baseball championships, and they have it like every weekend. That's weird to me because that didn't happen a long time ago, right? And so I'll say, I'm like, dang, do they get rings every weekend? Those are so big. Like, just whatever, just send a message, and that starts some conversation. And then that starts, well, what are you up to? How are y'all dealing with all this craziness? Are you working from home? And then they say, yeah, how about you? Still working my business. It's actually better than ever. Everybody wants to get healthy right now. Oh, so what does that work for me? Like, right? Like, it just, yeah. Okay, Susan.
No, it's very true. I know you're like, I know we've said this 100 times. Why do we have to keep repeating it? But I do. And guys, I'm going to be real honest with you. Even I've got hung up on the message, and I just take a breather and I'm like, it doesn't matter what I send as long as I send something. So at the end of the day, I need to make sure that I've probably sent 30 messages to somebody. And I'll tell you a quick one that I did the other day. I have all my customers on this, on these little things right here. I just went through them on Monday, so that's why they're still sitting there. And I did a funny graphic for Monday, and it just said something like, have a happy, thriving week. Love you, Susan. I actually put that on the graphic. I sent that graphic to every single one of them. You wouldn't believe how many of them replied back and said, oh yeah, by the way, when's my next order up? Or, oh, Susan, I forgot to text you the other day. I'm like out of shakes. Or, thanks so much for thinking of me today. Whatever it was just a message. And I even send it sometimes to my hot list, that are crazy and haven't thrived with me yet. Who knows? But I always just try to send something that's not always Thrive related. It's just something. So at the end of the day, I've touched somehow somebody. But I love that. I do love to go into Messenger and actually start asking them questions about something they post. I did that yesterday. There was a girl from my high school who was talking about how she could have aborted a baby. She didn't. She chose to have it in high school. And I'm reading this whole thing. I'm like, she had a baby in high school? Like, I don't even remember that. And so I forwarded it to her and I said, I did not even know you had a baby in high school. Like, how did I not know this? She's a customer of mine. And she went back and we conversed for a long time. And I was like, so I love doing those kind of things too. If they post something, then I'll click share and send that actual post into Messenger and start talking to them about it.
Because it shows them that you care more about them than just a sale or
Yep.
just as a thriver or whatever. Susan, but I want to rewind just a second what you said right before that. You said your hot list. So you're telling me that you've been thriving for almost 7 years. You're a millionaire earner on this team, 200K leader, and you still have people that you know that aren't thriving with you?
They've lost their minds. I don't know why.
Guys, are you hearing that?
In my hometown, people who are around me every single day, family members.
And it's a small town.
Yeah, it is. You would think everybody would be thriving in this town now.
But see, that's the thing, is we all deal with the same stuff you deal with. And people, Susan has lots of people thriving with her. Don't hear that as nobody's thriving with her. No. Susan has lots of people thriving with her. She earns Auto Bonus Elite. She got like a bajillion customers. Her husband's account has customers. Her son's account has customers. They got customers. And she has an amazing team, but there's still people that have yet to say yes. It's going to happen. It's just when. So she's still working relationships. She's still talking to people. She's still networking. That's that network marketing. She's networking with people, and that is what is going to eventually seal the deal to their health.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I just keep setting an example. I go back with what Kayla says. They're not thriving yet. They just haven't been informed enough. I'm like, I feel like I inform a lot. But there's just people like that. And it's fine. I'm cool with it. Let's look at these real quick. There's a lot of people on the fence. I love that Amber says that too, and I wrote that down. When you're interviewing people, you say there's a lot of people on the fence. What would you say to them? It's a great closer. We need reminders. I'm writing a list now and composing an email to all my current customers. I'm going to tell you something that I also did that I took from Jennifer Zant. I went on Facebook and I created a friends list called a hot list. Thank God they don't know I put them on a hot list because that'd be weird. And it is just those people that I literally, and it's not that I'm sending Thrive stuff to them all the time. It's that I'm going and I'm commenting on their post all the time. I'm building that relationship with them. But that hot list had 84 people in that group yesterday. That's how many freaking people will not thrive with me that I have been working on. Anyway, but that's just not the point.
Yeah. So y'all go watch that video. What was it? 2 days ago?
Was it Monday? Yeah, I think, was it Monday? Yeah, Jennifer Zant was on Monday about creating that friends list. Just so you, when you need to go make your custom conscious comments each day, it's a lot faster to get to those people instead of scrolling Facebook. But yes, to your current customers, it's fun just to send them something. Hey, I hope you have a great thriving day, especially on Monday. And then sometimes people lash out at you and reaching out in love, bless, and release. Yes. Whatever. I don't let
it happens, you know, and then, oh, you think I'm just a sale. Actually, no, I just saw about the post you were posting about how sad you've been, and I was there, and I just wanted to share with you how it helped me. And I'm so sorry you took it that way. Like that's how I respond. I'm so sorry you took it that way. That's not how I meant it at all. I hope you have a really good day. And I just leave it at that, and I move along, and then I follow back up with them later. Like, obviously not leading with Thrive. I'll follow back up with them on, hey, just wanted to touch base. How are you doing?
Yeah. And under her breath, she's like, you obviously need Thrive, but she doesn't say that to them. That's how, yeah. Making your friends list also brings them back into your news feed. Yes. If you're putting custom conscious comments on your non-thriving friends, it does make them see your stuff more. So here's what you need to make sure you're doing. You need to make sure that your Facebook represents who you are: mom, wife, thriver, Aggie, golden retriever mom, motocross mom, whatever. Make sure that your newsfeed stuff says that. And if they go to stalk your story, that if they were looking for Thrive, they would actually see it. So, all right, Amber, any closing words, such as if there were a lot of people on the fence, what would you say?
You know, I would say you can do this. There's nothing different about me and you or Susan and you. It's just, you just got to keep going. I'll leave with this analogy. and somebody did the analogy of a deck of cards. A deck of cards has 4 aces. So imagine those 4 aces are your rock stars, right? Imagine those 4 aces are your personal 200Ks. Like they're people that you reach out to and they eventually are going to be your runners, all right? 4 of them. In a deck of cards, sometimes you may hit that 1 ace right away. I did in Chastity Marie, like super blessed. But then the next 3 are spaced out, or maybe all 4 of your aces are at the end of the deck of cards. Maybe you just have to go through all the cards before you get there. And you just don't know. You don't know if that card's going to be a 2 or a 10 or a king or an ace. Like you just don't know. And so you have to keep going to be able to see the success that you want. And kind of like I talked about earlier about success, becoming successful quickly. The way to become successful quickly is to dive in as fast and hard as you can into that deck of cards. And, just doing the normal 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it is probably not going to get you where you want to be as quickly as you want to get there. You're going to have to 10x it. You're going to have to 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. If you want to see that truly happen, it's kind of like a single mom going to night school to be a nurse, right? Like she's got her full-time job and then she's going to night school, plus she's got her kids. Like she's putting in the work and the effort. And a lot of times we've got to look at this as, hey, am I truly putting in the work? Am I truly paying the rent that's due every day? Or am I just paying enough? And, that's important. So, all right.
All right, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow. I'm so excited, Amber. That was really great. I'm going to download this, so don't worry. And I'll have the recording up as soon as possible. Tomorrow we have Amanda Arnett on. So she's fun to listen to too. If you don't follow her on TikTok, go check her out because she's hilarious. All right, Amber, thank you so much. Everybody have a great day. Bye.